let's get to our examples for today's homework. Now, if you are absent, these are the notes that we did in class. So these are the things that you're going to want to note down. These are some key features for graphing quadratics, okay? We are going to go ahead and look at our sketching parabolas page. We did 1 and 2 in class. The steps are there. And you guys were assigned 3, 4, 5, and 6. The 2 that I'm going to do are 5 and 6. Now, if you get stuck, that's okay. But I want you to go on to the next problem and work again until that same point where you get stuck. Because what you're doing is you're practicing and mastering the skill that you do know. Okay, so if all you can do is identify the axis of symmetry, do that much. It'll make you that much stronger on that piece. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead then and let's get to number 5. Very first thing I've done is I've listed out A, B, and C. Okay. Now, once we have A, B, and C, and I look at the list here, they're asking me to find the axis of symmetry. So to find the axis of symmetry, we have x equals negative b divided by 2 times a. Our b value is negative 16. Our a value is 4. So negative and negative 16 makes a positive 16. 16 divided by 16 divided by 8 gives me x equals 2. Okay? So the axis of symmetry is x equals 2. Now, I can also put that in the x value of the vertex. I can also graph that on the coordinate plane. That's what's going to cut our graph right down the middle. Okay, so x equals 2 for the axis of symmetry. Okay, so once we have x, then we need to find the y value of the vertex. All right, so this part here is what we're looking for now. Okay, so let's go ahead then and use our equation. Substitute in x into every x value and solve for y. Y equals 4 times x squared minus 16 times x plus 9. Remember, our x is now 2. Now, got your calculator, you have your Desmos calculator, you can type that in to get that solution. If you do not have that Desmos calculator, then we're going to solve this algebraically. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 4 gives me 16. Negative 16 times 2 gives me negative 32 plus 9. Negative 16 minus 16 minus 32 is negative 16 plus 9, and I get negative 7. So y equals negative 7. So there's the other part of our vertex. All right, so then let's go ahead and graph that vertex. 2, negative 7. I go right 2, and I go down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's our vertex. Now to graph this, our shortcut today, the quick way we talked about, was using that a value. So from the vertex, a is 4. So from the vertex, I'm going to go left 1, and I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm also from the vertex going to go right 1 and go up 4. Now, once we have those 3 points, we can go ahead and graph our parabola. That is a U-shaped parabola, not a V-shape. So make sure that bottom of the graph is curved. Okay, oops, didn't want to do that. Now, also, we did talk about how to add other points on here, the 1, 3, 5 rule. Okay, so if you're working with that, your next points would actually have to go up. That would have to go up 12. And that does fit on here, by the way. Okay, so if you wanted to try that 1, 3, 5 rule, you could try that. All right. Again, make sure the bottom of the graph is rounded, not a point. Okay. All right, so the domain on this one is x is between negative infinity and positive infinity. Okay, this graph continues to go left and it continues to go right in both directions. Now, the range. This one here, when you're looking at it, we are talking about the y values, okay? So I'm trying to see how low did this graph go. So this graph goes all the way down up until negative 7. It does not pass negative 7. Okay, so the range is y is greater than or equal to negative 7. It always stays above negative 7. All right. Okay, so that's it for that one. Let's go on to number 7. Okay. Again, if all you can do is that axis of symmetry and find those x values in the vertex and graph those, do that much. Okay. Take it into whatever pieces you can do before saying I can't do this. Okay. All right. So on this one here, we've got y equals negative x squared plus 4. Very first thing we're going to do, find the axis of symmetry. X equals negative b over 2 times a. Now this one, the b term is not there. So that means that b equals 0. So we have negative 0 divided by 2 times negative 1. Negative 0 is just 0. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. 0 divided by anything is always 0. Okay. So that means that our axis of symmetry is x equals 0. The x value of our vertex is 0. And the axis of symmetry lies right on the y-axis. So x equals 0. All right, now let's go ahead and find the y value. So we are going to take our equation that's here for y. Everywhere there's an x, we're going to plug in 0. Y equals negative 0 squared plus 4. Negative or 0 squared is 0, making that negative is 0. All we have left is 4. So we have y equals 4. Okay. All right, so 0, positive 4, I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the vertex. Okay. I'm going to zoom in on this so we can see this. Our A value is negative 1. Sorry, I was looking at my calendar on my wall. So then I have to go left 1, down 1. Right 1, down 1. Let me make the vertex just a tad bit smaller. So left 1, down 1. Right 1, down 1. Okay. Now, that is the 3 points that we need. However, that's really small. So this is when I'm going to take that 1, 3, 5 rule. And if I have 1, negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Okay. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. So I go left 1 and down 3. Right 1 and down 3. Then negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. So left 1 and down 5. Right 1 and down 5. Okay. So we still see that U shape. We still see that parabola. This time the parabola is facing downward because it was a negative A value. Okay. So the domain on this one is x is all real numbers. X is between negative infinity and positive infinity. You could also write it as our symbol that we've got that represents all real numbers. Any of the things that you decided to use, as long as you understand, it goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay. Now, the range is the one that's a little bit different. So for the range, we are talking about the y value. Okay. But we need to know what is the y value where the graph stops. So the graph stops where y is just here. And that y value is 4. So y is less than or equal to 4 because the graph is always below the vertex. Okay? Touches the vertex and is below the vertex. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know.